Thank you for your continued support of Missouri 8-Man football. For more information on Missouri 8-Man football, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Mo 8-Man football. There you can find links for all these scores, schedules, standings, stats, individualized team pages, and history of the sport we love. Also, check out our website at Missouri8manfootball.com. Anthony Crane and myself, Devin Albertson, appreciate your support. Now, back to the game.
And second half action here in Concordia, Missouri. We have both teams 5-1 coming today, but St. Paul Lutheran's in control here at halftime, 52-12. We'll have the kickoff here for the second half momentarily. It's a couple of score updates while we were at halftime. Rockport up on Southwest Livingston, 54-8. Also, Northwest Hughesville up 56-6 on Santa Fe. Pleased what that score said. Sorry, 56-0 at halftime there. So Northwest Hughesville getting a win over Santa Fe. Also update, Oric over Northern Hardin Central 54-26. Care Paravel up on Northland Christian 44-12 at halftime. LeBlanc up on Nottoway Valley 20-8. Drexel up on halftime against Greenfield 56-0. Jasper up on Rich Hill 22-0. Liberal up on Osceola 36-18. Rockport up on Southwest Livingston 54-8. South Holt leading Mound City 16-14. Platte Valley up on DeKalb 50-12. Sorry, another update. South Holt now up 24-14 on Mound City. Take a two-score lead in that one there early third quarter. Very late third quarter in that one. Also, a couple updates in the GRC at halftime. North Andrew leads Albany 32-26, but Worth County defeats Pattonsburg. Halftime final 92-6 is the final in that game between Worth County and Pattonsburg. Worth County improves to 7-0 on the year. But here we have the second half coming up next here. Lockwood to kick off for the second half, down 52-12. As both these teams looking to improve to 6-1 on the year. Right now, St. Paul Lutheran in good shape here. Cooper to kick off for Lockwood. Here we're at a 40-point differential. If we get to 45, it'll be a running clock here in the second half. Cooper to kick. And it's going to be a squib kick up the middle. Will be taken near the 10-yard line by Keek. Finally gets a hold of it. Going to try to reverse field, and he's going to be dropped right around the 10-yard line. Good kickoff coverage for Lockwood. And it'll be first down and 10 for Lockwood. So first and 10 coming up here for St. Paul Lutheran. Halftime between King City and Schuyler County at 64-0 King City. But here, handoff right side for Maggart. Maggart going to keep inside one guy, going to keep moving, pushing the pile, running over defender across the 20, up to the 21 for a first down. Big run there for Maggart. So first and 10 coming up for St. Paul Lutheran. Also going into the fourth quarter, Jasper 22, Rich Hill 0. That's going into the fourth quarter. T formation here for St. Paul Lutheran. Back to pass. Now it's going to be reversed to Keek. Trying to reverse field. Has the edge. Going to get across midfield now to the 30, to the 35, 20, and then knocked down right at the 20-yard line. Heck of a return there for St. Paul Lutheran. On the reverse, Andrew Keek inside the 20. They're going to mark him down around the 18-yard line, maybe the 19. Be a first down and 10 for St. Paul Lutheran in the red zone. Another update. Rockport leading Southwest Livingston 60-8 now, third quarter. Handoff left side to Mueller, and he's going to be stopped by a couple of Tigers on that one, including Landon Stump on the stop. Looks like also Cooper was on the stop there for Lockwood. So we'll bring up second down and about 9 coming up for St. Paul. 10:27 to go in the third quarter. T formation. Bobson, handoff, Maggart, right side, and he's going to be wrapped up and stuffed. Good open field tackle there in the hole by Nick Timon.
Tackle on number 7, Nick Timon.
Timon on the stop for Lockwood. Just under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. St. Paul Lutheran up 52-12 in this top 10 matchup between a couple of newer programs in 8-man football. St. Paul Lutheran on their second year. Went 5-2 last year. Had their season cut short due to COVID right around the playoffs. And it looks like there's a little bit of a bobble there. Looks like a false start on the quarterback as he was kind of rocking back. 5-yard penalty.
Penalty against St. Paul. Now make it 3rd and 14.
Third down, about 13 or 14 coming up here for the Saints. T formation. Bobson, back to pass. Has some time. High throw for Kirby. He's going to make the catch. No, incomplete. Knocked out by Eli Kerr at the last second. Good play there by Kerr. As with 9 minutes to go in this third quarter, St. Paul Lutheran up 52-12. Leader, T formation. Bobson, keeping himself off the right side. And he got cut back all the way to the left, trying to pick up a couple of blocks. Fools me, the cameraman. Bobson around the left side. He's going to have enough for a first down, pushed out by Kerr. Picks up a good block as he reversed field by one of his linemen. So smart running there for Bobson. And it's going to be turnover on downs. He did not get enough for the first down there. So it's going to be Lockwood football. As Coach Gifford looking for an explanation. Yeah, it'll be Lockwood football. And Lockwood's going to take the ball, handoff off the right side. And 10 yards there for Lockwood, maybe 11 for Nash McGuire.
11 will be first down for Lockwood.
First down coming up here for Lockwood. And again, Northwest Hughesville, Santa Fe, 56-0 going into the third quarter. Mound City pulls within 4, 24-20 with South Holt. As handoff up the middle to Stump, as he's going to roll forward and taken down near the 26.
5-yard pickup, tackled by number 44, Jaden Maggart.
Maggart on the stop again for St. Paul Lutheran. Second down and about 5 coming up here for Lockwood. I formation again. They've ran into some leads or a triple option out of this formation. Lead play off the right side. McGuire's going to keep it and get up near the 30-yard line up to the 29.
Tackled by number 40, Logan Mueller.
Logan Mueller on the stop for St. Paul.
Short of the first down, bring up 3rd and 1.
Another update, Jasper 30, Rich Hill nothing. That game's in the fourth quarter. Quick moving game there down south. Also, North Andrew up now 46-26 on Albany. Handoff, and going nowhere, just stopped in the backfield. That's Maggard on the stop, I believe. Christian Anderson also back there. As meeting back there in the backfield for the St. Paul defense. Update in Stanbury, North Shelby. Stanbury gets inside the 10-yard line, but gets turnover on down, so Stanbury still leads 7-6 in that one. I formation here, 4th and about 5 for Lockwood. Play action pass. Kerr, back to pass, throws it up, looking for a hand, and he's got his man, and it's Kane Cooper makes the catch despite hitting into his own player deep downfield as Logan Wells and him kind of collide. Lockwood gets the big pass play, their first kind of big pass play of the night, as they get inside the 30 down to about the 28-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Lockwood on the 4th and 5 play. Their two biggest plays have come on 4th and about medium with the long touchdown run by Stump, breaking about 4 or 5 tackles and scoring, then that play action pass on 4th and 5. So Lockwood getting some good plays there. Handoff up the middle, nowhere to go. Maggard and Lederman with the stop. Nowhere to go for Stump. Another update, LeBlanc 26, Nottoway Valley 8 is the score in that one. Going to the 4th quarter now, South Holt 24, Mound City 20, but here 52-12 with 5.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Kerr going to keep himself off the left side, breaks a tackle, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Lockwood. Eli Kerr, second touchdown run of the game, his 24th total touchdown on the season. And Lockwood gets on the board again, makes it 52-18. Good read there on the option play. And Austin Sway back with a 52-yard rushing on the drive, 4-yard touchdown. Stanbury up now 13-6 over North Shelby. Kerr looking for the running back out of the backfield and just a little bit overthrown. They couldn't quite get to the receiver, Eggerman. And 2.5 will be no good. St. Paul Lutheran 52, Lockwood 18. We'll take a quick timeout and be back next.
Thank you for your continued support of Missouri 8-Man football. For more information on Missouri 8-Man football, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Mo 8-Man football. There you can find links for all these scores, schedules, standings, stats, individualized team pages, and history of the sport we love. Also, check out our website at Missouri8manfootball.com. Anthony Crane and myself, Devin Albertson, appreciate your support. Now, back to the game.
As we're back here in Concordia, Missouri, it's a 52-18 lead for St. Paul Lutheran over Lockwood. Also, North Andrew up 46-34 on Albany. 3rd quarter in that one, about 6 minutes to go in the 3rd. But here, 5:14 to go in the 3rd quarter, it's 52-18 St. Paul Lutheran. And Cooper to kick off. It'll be a squib kick. Ball still loose. And recovered by Lockwood. Scooping in there is Nash McGuire. Good recovery there for Lockwood on the squib. Just couldn't quite field it with St. Paul Lutheran. Rockport up 60-14 on Southwest Livingston. Is that game going into the 4th quarter now? I formation come up here for Lockwood. Little option play, going to be a handoff up the middle of the stump. He's going to get across the 20 up to about the 19-yard line. Not much going up there in the middle. Maggard on the stop. Second down and 8 coming up for Lockwood as they're in the red zone. Lockwood breaks the huddle with about 20 on the play clock. I formation, stump at fullback. Eggerman the tailback. Hand off to Eggerman, trying to go to the outside. He's going to be wrapped up and brought down. Logan Mueller from his linebacker position comes up and makes the tackle. Good stop by Mueller. Third down and 11 come up here for Lockwood. Ethan Kirby setting the edge for St. Paul, and Mueller coming up and cleaning up the scraps. It's a well-played defensive set there for St. Paul Lutheran. Approaching 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. St. Paul up 52-18. Two receivers to each side. Kerr back to pass, looking left, and he's going to be caught by Eggerman.
Pass is complete to number 10, Hank Eggerman. Tackled by number 28, Peyton Woods.
Woods with the stop for St. Paul.
4th and 6.
4th and 6 coming up now for Lockwood. They've had some success on 4th downs so far this game. But Lutheran looks to get off the field here on defense. Three receivers to the right, one to the left. It's Eggerman by himself to the left. Kerr going to roll out to his right. Kerr looking downfield for Cooper, and Kane Cooper's going to make the catch for a touchdown. Kane Cooper about 6'4". Andrew Keek is probably like 5'8", so a pretty good height difference there, and he just throws it over the defender. And a good catch there for Cooper, and that makes it 52-24. Lockwood starting to battle back a little bit here in the third quarter. As three receivers to the left, and Eggerman, McGuire, and Stump. Cooper out to the right by himself. Kerr is going to throw it to the end zone, and it's going to be caught by McGuire in the end zone for the two-point try. Lockwood's first two-point conversion of the night. That was converted. St. Paul Lutheran now doubling up Lockwood, 52-26. We get a quick timeout. Coming with more next.
This broadcast is sponsored by Brian Lopez State Farm in Gladstone, Missouri. For all your auto, home, and life insurance needs, give us a call at 816-678-0749. Tell them Devin sent you.
As we are back here in Concordia, Missouri, second half action, St. Paul Lutheran and Lockwood, 52-26. St. Paul Lutheran leads. Also an update, North Andrew 54, Albany 34, third quarter over there in Rosendale. Still 13-6, Stanberry over North Shelby in a top 5 matchup up in Stanberry, Missouri. As Cooper to kick off here for Lockwood. Not the Cooper to caught touchdown pass, the other Cooper to kick off here for Lockwood. Keek back to return for St. Paul Lutheran. They got a couple of their other guys up a little bit closer. Squib kick. They go all the way down inside the 5 and out of bounds. Should get the ball to the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 Lutheran. Another update, Drexel up 62-0 now on Greenfield. JV getting some action there for Drexel. But here it's 52-26. 1st and 10 for St. Paul at their own 25-yard line. Gert split out to the right, T formation. 3-man line for Lockwood. Hand off to Maggart off the left side, off the right side, and he's going to be able to push to the line, finally get brought down.
Jaden Maggart on the carry.
It's like Burleycamp and Stump on the stop.
The Tiger defense.
So again, 52-26 in this game. St. Paul Lutheran has been in control for most of it. T formation. And Bobbins looking back, Stump chasing. Bobman's going to get to the edge and step out of bounds. Couldn't tell where exactly he stepped out of bounds. They're going to mark him at about the 37-yard line. Gain of a couple on the play. Third down and about 4 coming up for St. Paul. Third down and 4 coming up. Maggart, carry off the right side. He's going to push the pile and have enough for a first down. Jaden Maggart just pushing the pile with the open offensive line. Just a little bit of bully ball there. Burleycamp on the stop there for Lockwood. Talented senior for Lockwood. First and 10 coming up for St. Paul just across midfield to the Lockwood 39-yard line. First and 10 come up here for St. Paul. They're going to have 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Kirby to the left, Gertz and Maggart to the right. Quick pass to Maggart. He's going to catch the ball, get to the 35-30, 25. Stop his feet, can keep going down near the 20-yard line. Finally brought down by a couple of Tigers, including Nick Tiemann. They're going to mark it right at the 20-yard line. Be first and 10, just the red zone for St. Paul. Looking to get some more points on the board. Three-man line here for Lockwood. Gertz. Bobbins back to throw, looking for a receiver. No one in the area. He thought the receiver was going to do a little out route or a comeback, but Gertz and Maggart are both too far downfield. So that will bring up a second down and 10 coming up for St. Paul now. .125 to go in this third quarter. St. Paul Lutheran leading 52-26. T formation. Maggart gets a carry off the right side, and he's going to get thrown down inside the 20, down to about the 17. Burleycamp on the stop again.
Tackled by number 75, Caden Hilliard.
As it's now third down, about 7 coming up for St. Paul. Just milking this clock a little bit. Got about a minute to go in this first half, in this third quarter. Bobbins to the line. T formation. Long and Maggart in the backfield. Long carry off the left side. Makes a couple of guys miss, and then get down near the 10-yard line. It's a good hard run there by Long, making 2 defenders miss. One with a stiff arm, the other one with a spin move. As Lutheran has a good stable of running backs here with Long, Maggart, and Mueller. They can kind of share the rock between the 3 of them. They all do a good job blocking for each other as well, so it's really good, really hard to defend there with those 3 backs in the backfield and Bobbins there under center. The good size offensive line. With Caleb Veras at left guard. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. St. Paul Lutheran 52, Lockwood 16. Lockwood holds Lutheran scoreless that quarter, I believe. So good quarter for Lockwood, but still plenty of work for them to do. We'll get back with the fourth quarter coming up next here on the Missouri 8-Man Football Facebook Live.
This broadcast is sponsored by Brian Lopez State Farm in Gladstone, Missouri. For all your auto, home, and life insurance needs, give us a call at 816-678-0749. Tell them Devin sent you. Thank you for your continued support of Missouri 8-Man Football. For more information on Missouri 8-Man Football, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Mo 8-Man Football. There you can find links for all these scores, schedules, standings, stats, individualized team pages, and history of the sport we love. Also, check out our website at Missouri8manfootball.com. Anthony Crane and myself, Devin Albertson, appreciate your support. Now, back to the game.
As we're back here in Concordia, Missouri, Lockwood has cut this lead down to 26, but Lutheran looking to score here up 52-26. T formation. Bobbin's going to keep himself up the middle in the quarterback sneak on 4th and 1. Has enough for a first down up to the 6-yard line.
First and goal, St. Paul.
Let's give a shout out to the St. Paul offensive line as well. They've played very well today. Across the offensive line, you have number 58, Caleb Virus, number 75, Christian Anderson, number 65, Hunter Lederman, and then at right end right now you have number 34, Ethan Kirby. Plenty of size across that offensive line, kind of pushing the pile here on these running plays. Bobbins under center. Keeping himself off the right side. Ball came loose. Lockwood recovers. Recovery by number 76, Logan Wells, the sophomore for Lockwood, gets a big turnover and a stop for the Tigers. They get the ball back here as he knocked the ball out of Bobson's hands. For the third time, Bobson lost the ball today. This is the first one they've actually lost, though. So 11:30 to go in the ball game. Lockwood down 52-26. So down 4 scores still. But I formation here for the Tigers. Kerr under center. Hand off to McGuire off the left side. And he's going to get brought down by, I believe it's Ethan Kirby. Sorry, that's Lederman on the stop. The nose guard gets in there and gets the stop after a gain of 3 on the play. As they're going into the fourth quarter in Stanberry. Stanberry 13, North Shelby 6. Drexel up 68-0 on Greenfield. Kerr going to keep it himself. Now they're going to pitch it to the outside. Ball comes loose, but I think Lockwood does recover it. That's Eggerman. Eggerman on the run there for Lockwood. Not much going there on the outside. Lutheran does a good job of stringing it out. Third down and about 5 or 6 coming up here for Lockwood. So again, Drexel up 68-0 on Greenfield. And Stanberry up 13-6 going into the fourth quarter against North Shelby at home. 2 receivers each side for Lockwood. Kerr, quick out route to McGuire. He's going to make the catch and make Keek miss on an excellent cutback move. Step out of bounds across the 35, across the 30 up to about the 32-yard line. Maggart down on the sideline for St. Paul Lutheran in some pain. Couldn't tell what happened at the end of that play. But Jaden Maggart, probably the best, one of the better defensive players in the state for St. Paul Lutheran, is down on the sideline. They're going to keep playing here on the field as Ian Taylor will come in and take a spot at linebacker. Handoff on the left side is to McGuire. He's got to get away from Lederman and keep going. Finally get pushed out of bounds by the Saints after a gain of 1. Good job, McGuire, just getting back to the line of scrimmage there on that play, as Lederman once again had some good penetration up the offensive line. Another update. Rockport up 68-14 now on Southwest Livingston. Kerr, back to pass, looking deep. It's going to be caught by Landon Stump, and he can get swung to the ground near the 30-yard line. About a 17-yard reception there for Lockwood as they're in St. Paul territory. Lockwood getting some more effectiveness on offense in this half so far. Only had 12 points in the first half, have 14 in this quarter, and now driving again. Timeout, St. Paul Lutheran. 9:31 to go in the fourth quarter. St. Paul 52, Lockwood 26. We'll get a timeout with them here on Missouri 8-Man Football Facebook Live.
This broadcast is sponsored by Brian Lopez State Farm in Gladstone, Missouri. For all your auto, home, and life insurance needs, give us a call at 816-678-0749. Tell them Devin sent you. Thank you for your continued support of Missouri 8-Man Football. For more information on Missouri 8-Man football, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Mo 8-Man football. There you can find links for all these scores, schedules, standings, stats, individualized team pages, and history of the sport we love. Also, check out our website at Missouri8manfootball.com. Anthony Crane and myself.
As we are back in Concordia, quick handoff here for Stump, and he's going to get fumbles it initially and finally brought down the backfield by Ian Taylor, the backup linebacker coming in, making a big stop for St. Paul, coming in for Maggart, who is on the bench right now after getting injured earlier on this drive. Not sure what's still going on with him, but we'll get an update if we can going forward. Second down and about 15 coming up for Lockwood. Three receivers to the left, one to the right. Kerr going to roll to his left. Looking deep and knocked away. Andrew Keek with a deflection and a pass breakup. Looking for Nash McGuire. Excellent pass coverage by Andrew Keek. Third and 15 come up now for Lockwood. Had his receiver on a corner route, but a good recovery there by the defensive back to knock the ball away. Stoneburner touchdown to Kyle Smith. North Shelby takes a lead 14-13 at Stanberry. We'll keep an eye on that score as it kind of develops there. They are 8:41 to go in the ball game, but here, Kerr back to pass, and he's going to be sacked. Ethan Kirby with the sack for St. Paul Lutheran. The big man gets Eli Kerr in his grasp and would not let go. This will bring up a 4th down and forever coming up for Lockwood. They get all the way up to the 20-yard line for a first. They're at their own 35 right now. So it's a 4th and 25 coming up for Lockwood. So 4th and 25 coming up for the Tigers. Also a final score, Jasper defeats Rich Hill 36-0. Kirby, pressure, Kerr goes deep. It's going to be incomplete. Looking for Kane Cooper. Isaac Long on the coverage. And that'll be an incomplete pass, turnover on down. St. Paul Lutheran will take over at the Lockwood 35-yard line. So again, Jasper defeats Rich Hill 36-0, and that one is the final score down in WeMo action. First and 10 here for St. Paul. 8:01 to go in the ball game. T formation. Handoff, left side for Long. He's going to get stood up at the line of scrimmage. Good job of the Lockwood defense. Ball came out late, but forward progress had already been stopped. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 coming up for St. Paul. The injury here for Lockwood will step away from the game for a second. Well, I tend to him a kind of update. Northwest Hughesville defeats Santa Fe 64-14 is the final in that one. 64-16, sorry, is the final. So big win there for Northwest Hughesville in a conference game versus Santa Fe. As the injured Tiger is Burlekamp. As St. Paul Lutheran looks to come back on the field here for this 2nd down and 9 play. Second down and 9 coming up for St. Paul. Long carry off the right side, and he's going to be stuffed in the backfield. As you get Logan Wells with a stop in the backfield. And it's going to be a holding against St. Paul Lutheran. So Lockwood showing some fire here on defense in the second half. They're going to decline the penalty, make it 3rd down and 12 or 13 coming up for St. Paul. 3rd down and 12 from the Lockwood 37. He got to the 25 for a first. So 3rd down and long coming up here for St. Paul. T formation. And we have a false start here against Mueller for Lutheran. Got a little bit antsy there in the backfield and shifted forward. So this will bring up a 3rd down and 17 for St. Paul. 52-26 lead for St. Paul over Lockwood. So they're on their own side of midfield now at their own 38. And you get down to the Lockwood 25 for a first. Two receivers to the left for St. Paul, one to the right. Quick pass out to Mueller, and he's going to be caught. The pass, but he's going to be tackled right away. Nash McGuire on the stop. He's going to tackle inside his own 34, a loss of 4 on the play. And this is going to bring down a 4th and long for St. Paul Lutheran. Looks like their first punt of the game will come here for St. Paul. So 6:15 to go in the ball game. Get the snap off, and there's the punt. It's going to drop. Kerr's going to let it bounce, and it'll be stopped right at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up for Lockwood. Final score over in Holt County. South Holt defeats Mound City 24-20 is the final score there. South Holt has now won 2 games against conference foes this year. One a 20-18 win over Platte Valley, and then a 24-20 win over Mound City. 2 huge wins there for district seeding. Those teams in district number 4 and battling for some position there. So a huge win for South Holt over Mound City on the Panthers' homecoming there for Mound City. Big win for South Holt. But here, 1st and 10 for Lockwood. 2 receivers each side. Kerr going to keep it himself on the draw play. Get a block from Stump. And Maggart back in the game is going to tackle him. Try to strip the ball out. Get across the 25 up to about the 27-yard line. Good play there by Lockwood. And that D-line for Lutheran coming so hard and fast upfield. A little draw play gets him on the back end. And Kerr gets a big gain. So 1st and 10 coming up here for Lockwood at their own 28, 29-yard line. We'll say the 29. You got near midfield for a first. 3 receivers to the right. Looking across the middle and incomplete. Looking for Eggerman. Eggerman would look like he was looking for the football to bring up a 2nd down and 10 for Lockwood. 5:22 to go in the ball game. 52-26 St. Paul. The second half's been all Lockwood outscoring St. Paul 14-0 here in the second half. 2nd down and 10 for Lockwood. 2 receivers to each side. Kerr, look back to pass, avoids Kirby. Looking deep for Cooper, and it's going to be incomplete. Nearly picked off by Isaac Long and knocks it away from Cooper. Both players had a chance at it. As Kerr gave his receiver a chance, just couldn't quite come up with it. A good defensive play by Isaac Long to recover and knock it away from Kane Cooper. Update, Bishop LeBlond up 34-8 over Nottoway Valley, late 3rd quarter. And Drexel defeats Greenfield 68-0 is the final in that one. Here, shotgun for Lockwood, 2 receivers each side. Kerr, quarterback keeper, up the middle. Got a stiff arm Maggart and dip underneath Isaac Long, but not until he gets about 7-8 yards on that one. Gets up to about the 37. We'll bring up a 4th down and 2. And there's an injured Saint down in the backfield. Looks like Kerr. Can't tell who it is. It's not Kirby. Can't tell who's down, maybe just cramping there for St. Paul. But while we're looking at that, we're going to get some more score updates from around the state. Again, Drexel defeats Greenfield 68-0 is the final in that one. Another dominant win for the Drexel Bobcats. They improve to 6-0 on the year, as Lederman was the injured Saint on the play. He'll have to come out for a play at least here. Again, the Blonde up 34-8 over Nottoway Valley. Fourth and 2 coming up for Lockwood near midfield. 52-26 is the score. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Kerr in the shotgun, look for a possible quarterback draw. He's going to keep it himself left side. Look for the outside pass, and Eggerman drops it. Incomplete pass. Look at Peyton Woods on the coverage there for St. Paul Lutheran. That'll be a turnover on downs with 4:43 to go in the ball game. 52-26 lead for St. Paul Lutheran. That should pretty much do it in this ballgame. That is pretty much in the bag anyways, but that kind of seals it there. If Lockwood wanted a chance for a comeback, they needed to score on that drive. But with 4:43 left, we'll see what Lutheran has here on offense. Bobson looking deep on a play-action pass. Maggart is going to make the catch and get blown up by Stump, but he makes the catch anyways inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Good catch by Maggart. Heck of a hit by Stump, but it'll be our first down for St. Paul. Then a couple updates up north. North Andrew up on Albany 66-34. Also, North Shelby ball at the Stanberry 2, up by 1 with 3.5 to go in the ball game. So North Shelby could possibly go up by 2 scores with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Quick pass out to Maggart. He's going to make the catch. Juke one man, and he's going to get stood up and be lost of a couple back to about the 21-yard line. So again, North Andrew in control right now over Albany 66-34. But the important score there, North Shelby Stanberry, battle of top 5 teams in the state. North Shelby up by 1. And we've seen North Shelby kind of continue with top teams in the past. They beat Pattonsburg a couple years ago. Completely different score than this one. This one's 14-13 late fourth quarter. That game finished 92-88 North Shelby. So a little bit different style of play in this one versus Stanberry than what they had versus Pattonsburg a couple years ago. But could be another big upset win in the state for North Shelby. They also beat North Andrew a couple years ago as well. So they've had their history of beating some GRC teams. And this is Mueller off the left side, can get pushed out of bounds at around the 10.
Nice run by Logan, taking it down to the 10.
Let's wait for more updates from up north for a couple of those games.
3rd and 3.
Third down, about 3 coming up for St. Paul Lutheran. Letting that clock roll, 3:20 to go in the ball game. Actually, they went out of bounds. The clock stopped. T formation, Mueller and Maggart at the running backs. Gert split out to the right. Handoff, Mueller. Going to cut it back, left side. Going to have enough for a first. Breaks the tackle, and he's going to be into the end zone for a touchdown. Touchdown Saints. That makes it 58-26. And that's kind of the cherry on top for this game for Logan Mueller and the Saints, as they go up by 32 here on homecoming. With 3:13 to go in the ball game, St. Paul Lutheran up 58-26. 2-point try in the T formation. Maggart and Mueller in the backfield, Bobson under center. And flags come down. Looks like a false start against St. Paul.
False start, St. Paul.
So we'll retry the 2-point try. So North Shelby got backed up to their own to the 14 now for a fumble and a penalty. So Stanberry's defense looking to hold strong. But here, St. Paul, 2-point try from the 7. Looking for the end zone for Kirby. He's going to make the catch. The big 6'4 receiver makes the reception. That gets up 60 points for St. Paul Lutheran, their first score of the second half. And they go up 60-26 over Lockwood. And St. Paul Lutheran is going to cruise to a win here at home on homecoming versus Lockwood. Take a quick timeout and come back with more action next.
Thank you for your continued support of Missouri 8-Man football. For more information on Missouri 8-Man football, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Mo 8-Man football. There you can find links for all these scores, schedules, standings, stats, individualized team pages, and history of the sport we love. Also, check out our website at Missouri8manfootball.com. Anthony Crane and myself, Devin Albertson, appreciate your support. Now, back to the game.
And we are back here in Concordia. Quick update from Stanberry North Shelby. North Shelby ball, 4th down and goal from the Stanberry 14, 2:20 to go. North Shelby up by a point right now. Kickoff can go to the end zone for a touchback for St. Paul. Bobson, another kick touchback today. Also, LeBlanc now up 34-14 on Nottoway Valley. Nottoway Valley gets a score right before the start of the fourth quarter. Another update. This is an 11-man score, but still like a top 10 matchup, an 11-man. Mid-Buck and East Buck going at it. East Buck up 28-21 with 4.5 to go in that game. Kind of an important game, an 11-man that I wanted to kind of shout out here on the broadcast. And quick pass out to Kane Cooper, and he gets across the 20 up to about the 22-yard line, gain of 7 on the play. Second down and short coming up for Lockwood. And North Shelby turn it over on down. Stanberry has all 3 timeouts and 70 yards to go in 2 minutes and 14 seconds. So that game's going to come down to the wire there in Stanberry between them and North Shelby. It's a 1-point lead for North Shelby. Kerr, quick out route is going to be caught by McGuire, and he can get brought down by Mueller. Bobson also there to help clean up the stop. So Stanberry's defense does hold there. Also, Albany scores again, but that's 66-40 lead for North Andrew over Albany. So North Andrew looking to get a win there in conference. 2 receivers to each side. Kerr, quick pass to the outside, looking for Stump, incomplete, nearly intercepted off the deflection by St. Paul. And 2:38 to go in the ball game here. Thank you to Craig Mueller for watching, saying go Saints, and nice job, Mueller. 2 receivers to each side. Kerr, back to pass, and it's going to be knocked down by Christian Anderson. The deflection, the J.J. Watt special there, the defensive line knocking down the pass. And one thing I wanted to kind of say after this game was some takeaways. Lockwood, I feel like they have a lot of talent out there, a lot of speed with Kerr and Stump, and their kids really play hard there for Lockwood. I think right now, offensive line-wise, they're not as big as some of the other teams that are the top teams that say that kind of hurt them a little bit. And for St. Paul Lutheran, Kirby, Liederman, and Anderson, as you can see, Kirby and Anderson, their tag team for the sack, have just been a menace all football game. That on the offensive defensive line, those guys have been an outstanding. Liederman's been fantastic tonight. On the offensive line, Virus has been great as well at left guard. That just the line play for St. Paul Lutheran has controlled this game from start to finish, and that's been very impressive to see. You've seen some physicality from Mueller and Maggart from the linebacker position. So St. Paul Lutheran looks like a pretty good football team here going forward, and very deserving of that number 7 rank in the state. Lockwood, we'll see if they hold on to that top 10 ranking going into the next week, as they do play Archie next week as well. So McGuire, a little tunnel screen, gets a couple of blocks. He's going to go upfield and gets across midfield for a first down. Brought down by Andrew Keek. Isaac Long also there trying to strip the ball out late, but McGuire is able to hold on to it. Stanberry, 46 seconds left at their own 25-yard line, so haven't got a whole lot of movement so far in their offense that last drive of the game. Kerr, back to pass, looking to throw, looking across the middle, and incomplete, looking for Kane Cooper. Bobson goes down for St. Paul Lutheran, and he's in some pain there at the 25-yard line. You hate to see that for St. Paul Lutheran. Coach Gifford's going to go out to him. You can tell he rolled up on his ankle when he came down or what happened there. But we'll take a timeout with an injury timeout here on Missouri 8-Man football.
This broadcast is sponsored by Brian Lopez State Farm in Gladstone, Missouri. For all your auto, home, and life insurance needs, give us a call at 816-678-0749. Tell them Devin sent you. Thank you for your continued support of Missouri 8-Man football. For more information on Missouri 8-Man football, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Mo8Man Football. There you can find links for all these scores, schedules, standings, stats, individualized team pages, and history of the sport we love. Also, check out our website at Missouri8manfootball.com. Anthony Crane and myself, Devin Albertson, appreciate your support. Now, back to the game.
As Bobson's still down on the field near the 25, we'll wait to hear some more word on what's going to happen there, but it looks like they're going to get some training staff out there to him. And they're helping him on his feet now to help him to the sideline. A couple of his teammates are going to help him over. They're going to carry him off. Looks like Kirby, another guy, not putting any pressure on his feet right now. You just hate to see that. Christian Bobson, a really talented player, and I heard a really talented kid. As they're going to sit him down on the bench here, as Brooke Kreisel and Ethan Kirby help carry him to the sideline. As for Lockwood, it's 2nd down and 10, just across midfield. Thank you to Craig Mueller, who said thanks for broadcasting Missouri 8-Man football. We really appreciate it. Love doing these games, and this has been a really fun game to do as well. See a couple of teams we don't usually get to see a whole lot of. So, little swing pass out to the left side, makes a man miss, does stomp into the open field. A flag does come down.
Penalty on the play.
A tackle in the open field by Noah Rankin, a sophomore for Lutheran. I think this one's going to come back a little bit. Might get a penalty against Lockwood for either a hold or a block in the back. I couldn't quite tell. I just saw the flag fly as Stump was streaking down the field. So repeat 2nd down here. 2nd down and long coming up for Lockwood. We're at 1:13 to go in the ball game. St. Paul Lutheran up 40-26. And a quick out route here to Cooper. Cooper's going to make the catch and get out of bounds near the 32-yard line.
Picks up good yardage.
Another final score, North Andrew defeats Albany. 66-40 is the final in that one, so another big win for the North Andrew Cardinals as they win 66-40 over Albany. Third down and about 4 coming up here for Lockwood. Kerr in the shotgun. Quick out route to Stump is going to be dropped. So 4th down coming up now for Lockwood. This could be the last offensive play of the game, really. 55 seconds left. Lutheran up 60-26. Also, number 1 team in the state goes down. North Shelby 14, Stanberry 13. Final score, as we have an upset there with North Shelby upsetting Stanberry on the road. Big win there for the Raiders of North Shelby to get a win over the number 1 team in the state. Fourth down and 4. And Kirby jumps offside. He's going to give them a first down. It'll be a first down for Lockwood here. Stanberry goes down. North Shelby gets a huge win. And we'll talk about that the rest of the week kind of deal. That's going to be the storyline of the game. They got an interception to end the game. They knee it down to win 14-13. That's a grinded out game that if you're going to Stanberry and beat them head-to-head, you have to do it that style, and a heck of a game there by North Shelby. Kerr, back to pass, pump fake, has a man open. It's going to be caught. Touchdown, Lockwood. That's Landon Stupp with a touchdown reception. The 12th passing touchdown of the year, I believe, and the 13th passing touchdown of the year for Eli Kerr, as he's got 4 total touchdowns on the day. That makes it 60-32. So Lockwood, give them credit. They were down big at halftime, but they came out in the second half and played really hard and kind of made this a much closer football game. As they're actually going to outscore St. Paul Lutheran here in the second half. So far, it's been 20-8 in the second half. Trying to go for 22-8, second half score for Lockwood over to Lutheran. And for St. Paul Lutheran, you're kind of worried about Christian Bobson to make sure he's okay for the rest of the season. Quick pass is going to be caught and good for 2 by McGuire. And that makes it 60-34. Lutheran over Lockwood. And we'll keep it here and just kind of look at some scores from around the state while we're here. But as we said, that big one there with North Shelby taking down Stanberry. We're going to have a new number 1 in the polls for the first time this year. The big question is, does North Shelby, do they bounce all the way from 5-1 with this big win on the road? Or does Worth County again get that nod to be the number 2 team in the state last week? Big win this week over Pattonsburg, 92-6. Does Worth County get that 1 spot? It goes to Worth County. You got Stanberry, you got East Atchison, and Drexel also in the mix there. So where does Stanberry fall to? So very intriguing to see how this all goes with everybody. And I'm very intrigued to kind of see. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with North Shelby at this point. I think I had them 5 or 6 this last week. Them and King City were kind of right there. Where do I put North Shelby going forward? Very impressive win for the Raiders in that one. And shout out to Anthony Crane. He was covering that game. He was the only one to pick North Shelby over Stanberry. He's going to pick up some big points this week. So a big win there for North Shelby. And not even just for North Shelby, but also for the Central River League and some of these other conferences outside the GRC and 275. To see a team like that go into Stanberry and get a big win, get some respect for those conferences as well. To see the teams at the top are right there with the Stanberries and the Worth Counties. So a very impressive game there for North Shelby. Get some revenge last year for a 2-point loss in overtime. As Keek is going to return it across the 30-yard line up to the 31. And I think Lutheran's going to be able to kneel this one out and end the game here. St. Paul Lutheran going to improve to 6-1 on the season with a 60-34 win over Lockwood. Very impressive win here for St. Paul Lutheran. For Lockwood, they got a tough game next week with Archie going to Archie. That should be a back-and-forth ball game. I'm not sure who I'm picking that game at this point, but that one should be a lot of fun as well. As Gertz comes in, takes a snap, and that's going to be in the ball game here, folks, as St. Paul Lutheran gets a big win, 60-34 over Lockwood is the final here. As we wait for some more scores to kind of come in from across the state, and they're going to shake hands here at midfield. We'll keep it here for just a minute to kind of look some scores. You guys can also see the scoreboard on the Google Doc. You can see there on the Facebook and Twitter pinned post and pinned tweet. It'll be under the schedule scores and kind of standings link. It'll be there. So a great win here for St. Paul Lutheran. Some scores for around the state while we're here. South Holt defeats Mound City 24-20. Rockport defeats Southwest Livingston 68-14. Last time I saw, Platte Valley was up on DeKalb 50-12. Worth County defeats Pattonsburg 92-6. North Andrew defeats Albany 66-40. Stanberry falls to number 5. North Shelby 14-13. Last time I saw, King City was up on Schuyler 64-0. In the WeMo, no score for Archie, Appleton City, or Osceola Liberal at halftime was 36-18 Liberal. Jasper won over Rich Hill 36-0. Drexel defeated Greenfield in an out-of-conference matchup 68-0. LeBlanc was up on Nottoway Valley 34-14. So at halftime, it was Oric over Northern Hardin Central 54-26. Northwest Hughesville defeated Santa Fe 64-16. No update for Bramer versus Concordia. Nothing for St. Joe Christian, St. Mary's, and nothing for Keatsville versus KC East Christian. So let me look a quick look from around the state on my phone real quick to kind of see what's going on. I don't see any more updates, so we're going to end it on that. Not sure. We might have to do a emergency podcast kind of deal, emergency Facebook Live sometime this weekend to kind of talk about what happened tonight in some of these games. A couple of huge matchups. Not just North Shelby upsetting Stanberry and kind of securing the 1 seed in District Number 2. And Stanberry right now could be in trouble. Could fall maybe to the 3 spot here in District Number 4 and have to play Worth County and East Atchison again to maybe get to a state championship, and North Shelby as well. But also South Holt defeating Mound City is huge for District 4 for kind of seeding as well as North Andrew defeating Albany. Those are 2 huge games in that district, kind of figure out who's going to be seated where. Rockport and Platte Valley kind of held serves as well in that district. And then Bishop LeBlanc getting a big win over not only Valley at this point, they're up by 20 in the fourth quarter in that one. So a couple of big wins there. Jasper, they're kind of secure that 4 seed in district number 1. Hughesville trying to get to the 3 seed and possibly get a rematch with St. Paul Lutheran in the second round in district number 2. Oric trying to keep in the top 3 in district number 3. So a lot of things happening and a lot of moving parts here for everybody right now. So that's what we have for you guys at this point. I'm waiting a couple more seconds here. Also, that Class 1 game that I was talking about earlier with Mid-Buck and East Buck. Mid-Buck actually was up earlier. Mid-Buck beats East Buck 28-21 in a great football game there in Class 1. We had a fun game here between St. Paul Lutheran and Lockwood. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thanks for the coaches and everything. Jeremy Baker also said, Worth County defeated Pattonsburg 92-6 at halftime. I overlooked that score because it was such a blowout there. So a huge win for Worth County. And if we're looking next week, I think the top 6 teams have kind of separated themselves from everybody else. So you have, in no particular order, Worth County, Stanberry, North Shelby, Drexel, EA, King City. Those are the top 6 teams. Those first 5 that I mentioned will be in the top 5 in some order. I think King City will stay at 6. But that top 4, you're looking at either North Shelby, Worth County, EA, Drexel. I think for that top 4, Stanberry, I think, might fall to the 5 spot, which is kind of hard to say for them. Losing by 1 at home, you're going to fall 4 spots in the rankings, but definitely possible. North Shelby, where do they skyrocket up to? Is it going to be 1? Is it going to be 2? Are they going to go 3 or 4? And some more voters are going to keep EA and Drexel above them. We'll have to see. It should be absolute pandemonium and mayhem. I can't wait to see what happens. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We will have the media poll out on Monday morning at 8 a.m. like usual. Week 8, not sure where we're going yet. Probably Stanberry EA, but we got to wait to see if we can get in at a press spot there and see if they have any availability for us. If not, I might find somewhere else to go. We're not sure yet. So thanks, everyone, for paying attention and watching. This game will be archived on YouTube as well. So thanks, everybody, and everybody have a good night.